Welcome back to the Schmozone. This is episode number 95. I'm Dave Schmulenson, a.k.a. the Schmo.
And I'm Helen Yee with Helen Yee Sports.
And today's guest is one of our favorite humans on planet Earth. He's a great conversationalist. He's the one and only head coach of a.k.a. and one of the greatest humans, Mr. Javier Mendez.
I'm a.k.a. Hob.
Yeah, always great to see you. And we finally have you in studio. We've been wanting you in studio for a while because we've only Skyped you in before on our podcast.
Well, the Skype thing doesn't work too well, guys. I mean, this is much better, in here. Like earlier, like I was saying, I was Skyping and I had my iPhone and I had it like this out in the sun and it went off. Right in the middle of my
interview. The phone overheats.
The phone overheat. It says your phone turned off because it's overheated. Can you believe that? The iPhone overheats. So for all of you guys watching, do not put your iPhone out in the heat. It'll overstop. It'll overheat.
And don't you notice that after every few years, the iPhone, the battery just starts dying really fast?
Well, I have the new one, right? And it's unbelievable, but my battery lasts all day. All day.
And you're on it a lot.
I'm on it a lot. Yeah, on it a lot. The whole day.
But slowly, as the months go by, the years go by,
slowly, just like us as we get older, right? Slowly,
I guess we have that in common with the iPhone. It happens. But
it happened.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. It's always great to talk to you.
Yeah, great. It was great to be here. You took me away from the tables. I was losing my butt off, so that was all right.
So that's why you're in Vegas, just
that's
to gamble.
Why I was going to be late. But I lost quicker than expected. So I told you
did
I may be 15 to 20 minutes because I was on a streak. Then all of a sudden that streak went kaboom, and I said, go deep in my pocket again or come do the show. The show.
The universe was telling you.
The universe was telling me, come here. Don't leave your money on the table. Come here. Save it. Then go back after I'm done with you guys.
Is it craps or blackjack?
No, it's Texas Hold'em. Table card game. I never win.
Is this kind of like the fight week routine you do here when you come to Vegas? You got to play Hold'em as part of the whole fight week routine for you, Coach?
No, it used to be Crazy Four.
Okay.
It used to be Crazy Four. Way back then when Koscheck was fighting and I would come for the Ultimate Fighter, I would be here. And as soon as I'm done training, I'd be at Crazy Four at the Rio. And now I'm at the Planet Hollywood, but it's Texas Hold'em now.
Well, if anyone who's listening doesn't know who Coach Javier Mendez is, he only coaches terrible fighters. Terrible fighters. Just the Cain Velasquez of the world, the Luke Rockholds, the Daniel Cormiers. I guess there's a guy named Khabib Nurmagomedov, and right now there's a guy fighting this upcoming weekend named Islam Makhachev, among others that you coach as well. I was just throwing some names out there.
Yeah, you're throwing some. There's a lot more, but we don't need to talk about that.
And Josh Koscheck, you mentioned.
What we mentioned. This is about Islam time, so I guess Islam is the one we really want to talk about, right?
Right.
Of course.
But I guess it's fight week, but there's always got to be some level of controversy, right? Controversy meaning, Beneil Dariush, who was the third-ranked guy. He was supposed to fight him. He had to pull out of the fight for injury. New opponent, fresh face, coming off 2 weeks' notice after his win at UFC 271 in Houston, Bobby Green. Last-second opponent change, doesn't matter. Got to get the W, and I assume then just fighting for the title.
Yeah, it was Wednesday before we were to fly out last week. I'm coming in, walking through, and I said to Islam, what's going on? He goes, Coach, fight's off. Beneil got hurt. I go, oh. I said, UFC will get you somebody. Don't worry about it. They always do. So we get on the plane. We arrive here. As soon as before we even arrived, I was told by Helen that what's going on? Oh, never mind. I think it's Bobby Green. So I said, oh, we got Bobby Green. So Helen told me who you're going to fight before anybody else told me. So I got the scoop from Helen.
Breaking news as always.
But were you expecting it to be Bobby Green? Or because you said, or you told Islam that, don't worry, they're going to find you someone. So who were you expecting?
I didn't know who I was expecting. I was expecting a top guy, but Bobby Green, in my opinion, fits the bill perfectly. I mean, he just fought. He was very impressive. I was very impressed with him in all aspects of how he brings the fight. He gets the crowd going in his, excitement of what he does. And it's an exciting fight for the crowd. Let's see what we can do with him, But as far as an opponent, it's a great opponent. And it may be slightly tougher for us because of the fact that he's a wrestler, and he's actually, to me, a better striker. He's a better striker than Beneil was, in my opinion. So we got a tougher guy, and I think.
So how are you switching up the preparation on the fly, if doing anything different at all?
Well, that's the beauty about Islam, right? Islam is a fighter that doesn't need preparation for this fighter or that fighter. He just needs Khabib and I to tell him, fight this way, fight that way, and that's all he needs to do. He's so well-rounded that I don't know if you guys remember, but in Abu Dhabi, when he fought Davi Ramos, the game plan for that was the Matador and the Bull. So stay up, keep it up, keep the fight, moving. Watch the fight. He did perfectly that. He didn't want to take Davi to the ground. We didn't want him to go to the ground because we felt the best chance for him was to win was on the ground. Being was he a jiu-jitsu world champion, ADDC or whatever, the Abu Dhabi, that's what he was, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And
we don't have our fact checkers on salary right
checkers,
now. Yeah. We got to raise our profile up to get to that level.
But he was a very dangerous ground guy, and he also was dangerous on the stand-up, but not at long distance. So that's where the Matador idea came from. So what I'm saying is Islam Makhachev can do it all.
Certainly can. But obviously everyone was talking about winner of this fight between Beneil and Islam, guaranteed title shot. Any trepidation in your eyes from the UFC that now that there's a new opponent in Bobby Green, who obviously, is he even ranked? If he's not, he's on the cusp of the top 15. They might even put him in the rankings this week if they haven't already. But do you think there's any fear because of the change in an opponent that he won't get the title shot with the win on Saturday evening?
No, I don't think there's any fear of that because if you think about it, who's left?
Right.
Dustin? I mean, and Justin Gaethje is going to fight him.
Right.
So who's left? Michael Chandler? Who? It doesn't make any sense. There's only one guy that can jump ahead of everybody, and we've yet to see if that's going to happen or not. But right now, I don't see anybody jumping ahead of Islam with a win. I don't see it. And I don't think and it comes down to the fans, right? We know this is not a true sport. Is it entertainment first, sport second? So if it was a true sport, Islam hands down gets it. But it's entertainment first. But on entertainment value, who's going to tune in, right? Who's going to tune in to Michael Chandler versus Oliveira or Justin Gaethje again versus who's going to tune in to Islam Makhachev, right? Because he hasn't fought. He's on an 8-fight, 9-fight win streak. If he wins this one, he'll be, either 9 or 10-fight win streak. So it's all very obvious that it's going to be Islam that's going to get the opportunity because the people are going to want to see it. People are going to be behind him. And if you haven't noticed, but I have noticed, the UFC is putting some muscle behind Islam now. They weren't before, but they are now. So the machine is behind him. So if the machine is behind you and you're successful and you're an exciting fighter, what other option are they going to do? They're going to put you in the slot because they're prepping for that.
Yeah, we totally agree on our end, too. In regards to Bobby Green, though, it's interesting that you believe that he's a tougher matchup. I'm excited that he's finally getting a main event spot. It seems like John Anik, after his victory, which I thought he was extremely impressive against Nasrat Haqparast, I thought he was saying, I saw him saying that, hey, this guy's deserving of a main event spot. And I guess 2 weeks later, here he is. He's got a main event spot. But you believe that it's a tougher matchup, and you brought up some different ways, and he's been around. He's in his mid-30s. But, what stylistically do you see out of him that's kind of different than his early years? Because he's in his mid-30s. He's not a young guy. He's been around the UFC for a long time, but he's having a lot of success lately, and I think that's what the fans are noticing too.
I think to be honest with you, it appears that he became to love fighting, and he loved to perform. He loves to perform. He doesn't fight the best strategies. He fights the exciting ones, and he's doing it to win this time. Before it was like, nah. He didn't know where he was. I feel personally he knows exactly where he's at. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he goes out and does the job. His last fight was very, very impressive. And I'm a fan. I enjoyed his fight, and I enjoyed the fight before that and the fight before that. He's very enjoyable to watch. Very enjoyable.
Well, when you say that, you feel like it's because you could see or feel that he loves what he does now. Do you think that's kind of a main thing in fighters that make them so successful, to have that passion, that pure love, because you've trained so many champions?
Yes, I believe if a fighter's fighting for money, it doesn't equate to them giving out their best performance, because they're not fighting for the love of the fighting and the winning and the conquering. They're fighting for the paycheck, and that paycheck isn't good enough. When you love something, you go with it more. You know, you give more of an effort when you're in love with what you're doing. Like me, I love the coach. So guess what? 8 o'clock every morning, I'm there on time like I'm supposed to be, and if I'm not, I'm calling somebody, something's happened, I'm going to be a little late because I love the coach. So I'm there all the time. So if you love to fight and you're really good at it, guess what? You're going to reach that potential, and you're going to reach, you know, the top of the food chain, and it may be champions for some of these guys. But you would definitely go as high as you can if you love it, if you want to go out there and you give it to. Because if you don't, I'm coming in because they're paying me a couple $1 million. Well, there's no love in it. How are you going to train right?
What do you think truly motivates Islam? Because clearly they're not just doing this for the money. That doesn't seem like it's of importance. They're very, very prideful. Their country's extremely important to them. Obviously, you've been around Khabib for such a long time, and these Dagestan fighters. What would you say is motivating him on his quest to becoming the champion?
Well, I would say what's motivating him is not the financial part, like you're saying. It's the legacy for what he wants to leave behind, you know, for what he's doing, for what Khabib's done. And the up-and-coming fighters that are coming behind him, they have a lot of great fighters. Ego does, you know. So I think it's the same as Khabib. You know, money is definitely a motivator. And if I'm saying it's not, I'm lying, because every fighter is motivated by money. But it's not the only thing that's motivating him. Is the accomplishment of winning that title and the legacy, you know, and I think that's what Islam is wanting to do. And I say money's not the motivator, because we have another example of somebody that did fight for the money, Dustin. Dustin fought for the money, rightfully so. That's what he wanted, but it wasn't the right thing that Islam is. Islam wouldn't have fought that fight. He would have waited for the title fight, because that's what he wants. Just like Khabib, they would have took the title. They wouldn't have fought for the money. Now, after you win the title and you want to fight for money, I think yes, because now you accomplished that goal, you know, but they haven't accomplished that goal.
So speaking of the title, and if Islam, you know, obviously beats Bobby Green this weekend, do you think that he's going to fight Charles Oliveira or Justin Gaethje for the title?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, because remember the last two fights that Charles had, he got hurt. Chandler hurt him pretty bad in the first round, and he came back super strong, right? And with Dustin, the same thing. He got hurt, not as bad, but he got hurt earlier on, and he came on pretty strong. So can Justin hurt him like that right away? And the only difference, I think, in my personal opinion, is I think Justin's more of a killer. He's more of a killer, and if he hurts Charles, he just might finish him. You know, we won't know till the fight happens, but this is what I say. Early, I give Justin. Late, I give Oliveira, because he's shown that. He's shown that he's resilient, and he comes on stronger. He gets better as the rounds go on. We've seen that from him.
Well, Justin does have the wrestling background, but we saw what Khabib did to him on the ground. He had his way. He picked the submission victory that he wanted to do. You know, he called his shot to get the victory. Oliveira is a submission specialist. Do you think that there's anything that Khabib kind of highlighted, any of a weakness area in the jiu-jitsu game that Justin has that would be a strength to Oliveira in that department?
Well, he did. He showed that, you know, Oliveira can beat him definitely on the ground, but Khabib's another animal in itself. A lot of people don't realize what I realize, and the people that are around Khabib that wrestled with him, that grappled with him, they realize what a beast he is. That I've never seen anybody as good as Khabib. No one. He's the best I've ever seen. So for me, why do I come up with so much confidence in a guy like that? Why did I even say when he broke his darn toe and he's fighting Justin, oh, we're going to win this fight? Worst training camp ever. And yet I was the most confident ever with this guy going into the fight, because his mind is so strong. And that makes a big, big difference. And he loves to compete. And
he was holding the secret the whole time. He gets the hand raise, he's going to retire right there. And he didn't tell any of you guys that.
No, he didn't tell me that. In my mind, I'm going, oh, I'm going to be rich. Oh, no, I'm not.
Well, come on. Now you're still involved with everything overseas with him, and now you're coaching the you know, just the whole entire legacy. I mean, all the fighters that are following in his footsteps, the whole team. It's all going through you and AKA.
No, not the whole team. If you go back to his town when Abdulmanap's gym, oh boy, there's hundreds of those guys in there, all studs, all from the young to the old. He's got an incredible team rising over there, and I'm saying it now, and I've said it before. They're the team. They're the team of the future. They are the team of the future. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen and the guys are here. The Umars, the Ushman, the Sagid, the Gaji, the Umar, Islam and the other Islam. Those are incredible guys. And I've been with these guys to hear. All those guys, all top level guys. They got more at home. And they're funneling them through Eagle FC now, too, which is making its second U.S. debut.
11th.
March 11th. We'll be there at the fight. But I have to ask you this as well. I saw Khabib and Uncle Dana next to each other. They seem to be all buddy and everything like that. And, I think Dana supports what Khabib is doing for the sport. And I think there's such a mutual level of respect. I know they have a great relationship, but it just seems like everyone's benefiting that Khabib has this promotion. He's brought it to the United States. Well, also don't forget Bellator. Bellator supports Khabib 100%. Scott Coker's right on board. Scott Coker lent them the last heavyweight, Karatanov. He lent them that to go fight against their guy. So Scott Coker's all for it too. So Khabib is doing it right. He's friends with all these guys, and he's not going to ruin the relationship by doing something underhanded. He's going to keep it straight. He's going to, keep his relationships intact with all these other promotions. But he's going to be doing his thing. He's going to make Eagle FC the best he can be. And if it's the best in the world, it's the best in the world. But that's the goal, to be the best in the world, but not step on anybody's toes in the process. I just love that he made a 165-pound weight division. He's not afraid to do his own thing in this sport.
Your dream
I've been
came true.
Asking for a 165-pound weight division for years, and I would have never thought that Khabib would be the one to start it. Oh, maybe you can ask him. I can put in a good word for you. I did get to ask him at the press conference, but I didn't get to ask him enough. I did get that Schmo interview, though. Oh, you got the interview, but what about the fight?
Oh, the fight?
The fight. Why don't you fight? Don't you want to fight? You
Oh,
said
uh-oh.
165, you're happy. Oh, you meant as a spectator. Well, if I was to ever... Because you do like challenges. If I was to ever get involved in a charity match, grappling or MMA, it would be 165. Who? We already know who I'd go against. Who? Your favorite reporter. Arrow? Yeah. Arrow, if you're watching this, you're going to get your ass kicked. I'm going with the Schmo. But he would never do it. Well, you watched it when I said you're going to get your ass kicked, Arrow. But I love that. I love the fact that he made that division. But Arrow's got the nose, bro. He does. Got the nose. And that nose has the reach. I'd have to watch my eyes. But other than that...
You did just play basketball on Floyd Mayweather's team.
I did. I played with Floyd Mayweather in a basketball game. Is he good? He was pretty good.
He's competitive.
He's competitive as hell. Competitive. Yeah, I watched the nature of the beast. Now you know why he's the greatest, right? I do. But if Pacquiao would have... I was just debating this earlier with Henry on our show. We do a podcast together, Triple C and Schmo Show. If they fought too late. Pacquiao fought in 2015 in his mid-30s against Floyd. They were both in their mid-30s. That fight should have happened years earlier. But if Pacquiao beat Floyd Mayweather... Would you consider him the greatest boxer of all time? Pacquiao? Pacquiao. He's already one of the greatest, but if he beat Floyd, he would have been the greatest, I think. There's a good argument for that. Definitely a good argument for that, because Floyd's impeccable. He's impeccable. The closest I've ever seen anybody to taking him was De La Hoya. He came the closest. Came down to one round, and definitely Floyd won the last round, and in everybody's eyes, he won that fight, but that was a close fight. And then the flip on that was Floyd's father was on Oscar's corner. So hence, there was there had to have been some secrets been given back and forth on what to do and what to expect. So that's why I think maybe Oscar got the closest to Floyd, but no one else has gotten close to him at all. Well, ironically, the person to retire Oscar was Manny Pacquiao, and he's the only 8-division champion in boxing history. That speaks for itself, too. But you're right. When it comes to Floyd... I mean, I look at Floyd and I look at Khabib. Two guys, absolutely perfect, dominated their sports, and going out on top and seem to be more successful outside of the ring or the cage
them went in it. I think that's still being written for Khabib, but look what he's doing with these business ventures, and I think Eagle FC is well on its way.
Well, you know, one of the things, the business ventures that Habib Bobby goes, Coach, look, he shows me the picture. You go to the ships. I go, Habib, I don't see any ships there. He goes, no, look at Coach, the ships. I own 2,000 plus ships. I went, oh, you mean sheep? Those are sheep, Habib. He goes, oh, yes, sheep, Coach, sheep, not ship. He meant sheep. I go, yeah, he has like 2,000, 3,000 or whatever. Those thousands of sheep. He says it's a very good business. Wow. And that's just one of many businesses he has. Of course, he has Fitru by Habib, you know, but now it's just Fitru. He's got Fitru water, you know. He's got Eagle EFC, right? He has rentals. He has restaurants. He's got the Eagle Papapka cafe shop. He also has, I think, Send Me Location gyms that started in Abu Dhabi. Big mate, it's first class gym. He joined partnership over there. I mean, I can't even mention all the business ventures he's got, but I can just say this: he's extremely successful in business, like he was in fighting.
Very smart too.
Extremely.
Yeah, and wise. Someone I wanted to bring up on a side note, because earlier you were talking about like coaching stuff. When we went to see you a couple weeks ago in San Jose, it was nice to see Cain there. Velasquez, yeah.
Yeah, Cain. I've been trying to get him to help me coach for like after he retired. Hey, you know, if you're not happen to do anything, if you want to come by the gym, I'm saying it would be nice just to see you. And I'm hoping you'd hold. Okay, come on, Cain, please, come up. And little by little, I kept telling him, and he wouldn't do it. Kept saying he wouldn't do it. Finally, he came in. Now I don't say nothing. He just comes in like clockwork, and he trains a lot of the guys, and he's getting involved full swing with the coaching. And man, what a great coach Cain is! What a great coach! Unbelievable. He if he devotes the time and the energy, just like him and Habib, those two guys will go neck to neck to see who's going to be the greatest coach. And I think Henry Cejudo is right in that mix too. And Henry may be a little bit further ahead than those two guys are, because he's already showing by what he's doing, producing the champions that Henry already has, and people are seeking out Henry's tutelage. You know, rightfully so. He's done great with them, right? He's confident, and Henry knows what he's talking about. Well, I think Cain Velasquez and Habib have the same qualities, if not more.
Is there anyone in particular that Cain's working with specifically right now?
I think he was working with Mowgli just recently. He started working with Mowgli in his last fight, and I didn't see the fight, but I heard that Mowgli was doing really well till he got gassed or tired. I didn't see the fight, so I can't. I'm just going by what I heard. I don't know. I just heard he got tired, and the guy was very resilient, and the guy came back really good and hit him with 10 punch or something, 10 strike situation before the fight got ended. And Mowgli struggled with the weights, struggled with COVID. He had a lot of hardships, and that's a lot of the things that a lot of people don't see. And their excuses, yes, they are excuses, right? Because when you fight, doesn't matter. You're fighting, but they're reasons why these excuses comes out, right? It's an excuse, but this is the reason why his performance wasn't so great. Struggling with weight, struggling with COVID. So now you come in and you perform, and you underperform, you know. It's an excuse, and are you crying? You being a baby? Yeah, you are. But the reason why is this. So whether we like it or not, that's going to happen in all the sports. There's no one ever is going to 100% be healthy, right? But there's reasons why they do what they do, and if their mind breaks, doesn't matter. You know, you're not going to perform up to your level.
Who's been the most relatively healthy fighter, and for what fight were they completely healthy for leading up to it? Because there's always nicks and nats. You even brought up the broken toe with Habib, but who have you cornered going into a fight week where they were just probably the healthiest they had ever been going into any other fight?
Islam Makhachev.
Now or before?
Before he's always healthy, and right now he appears to be super healthy. Man, he's so on point right now. Wow. If you watch him in the gym, you go, this guy's a machine, man. He's so technical, so precise. He's unbelievable. You got to watch out from him for everything. Kick, knee, getting thrown on your head, submission, you name it, defense, offense. He's got it all. Islam Makhachev has it all, you know.
Well, he has you and Habib in his corner. Like, he has an advantage that Habib didn't have when he was going through. from that standpoint of having someone who's like a brother to him, and having you going through the reins with Khabib, obviously going through everything you have with DC, Cain, and all the fighters and champions you've worked with beforehand. I feel like from a coaching standpoint, he's getting the best of the best in his prime right now that I don't even know if any other fighter has an advantage that he has when it comes to the coaching standpoint.
Well, he's definitely getting a lot of experience, and definitely, Khabib, a lot of people don't know, Khabib's more the coach than I am. I'm more the mentor to Khabib. And I am a coach to all those other guys, but the show with the Eagle Dagestan boys is run by Khabib. Even though they say I'm the head coach, it's really Khabib. He's really the head coach. But I'm his mentor, and I'm his head coach. So in a roundabout way, I am the head coach, but I'm really not, because, I say 9 o'clock training. I show up. Okay, I'll give you an example. I show up this Friday at the Apex. Thursday. I show up Thursday for Apex. I'm waiting there at 9 o'clock, and I'm waiting. No one's there. Mom's like, hey, you guys, where's training? They go, oh, Coach, Khabib leaves me a voice message. Oh, Coach, I wanted to give you the day off because today is grappling day and you don't do nothing on grappling, so I wanted to give you the day off, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, okay, that's fine. I don't care. I'll take the day off. But had you told me last night, then I could have been gambling all night instead of waiting to go to sleep early. He actually saved me money. But still, what I'm trying to say here is, I said 9 o'clock. Khabib changed it to another location. He could have changed the time. He could have ever. It doesn't matter. It happens to me all the time. And I'll be honest with you, I never got mad one time because I know one thing about my Dagestan guys and Khabib guys, there's no disrespect ever. Not one time in my life have those guys ever one time disrespected me. Never. No. And if they did, it was unintentional.
How do you feel about a lot of fans starting to make that comparison of Islam and Khabib?
I say it like this. Khabib is Khabib, Islam is Islam. They're different. They're both, in my eyes, going to be champions. One's already the champion. One's already the greatest of all time to me. And the other one's going to be a great one, too, and will be a champion, But they're different. Khabib has different set of skills. Islam had different set of skills. Khabib was more mental focused and driven than Islam. Islam was more cool, relaxed, but he can also do more. Khabib's got good throws. Islam's got great throws. Khabib didn't kick very well. Islam's got really good kicks. Khabib didn't knee very well. Islam has good knees. And it wasn't until Khabib got kneed by Islam that Khabib started realizing, those knees work pretty good. So then Khabib started kneeing because it was done to him. And they're different. They're different fighters. They're not the same fighters. And I don't ever want to, but they're both, one is the greatest, one is going to be great. How good? I don't know, but he is going to be great, and I believe he will be champion.
Could he become the greatest? Could he surpass him?
And to me, I don't think so. I don't think anybody can that retires with any losses, because it's never happened to him. And how many rounds has Khabib lost?
You can count on one hand.
Yeah. Who can you say that about? I want anybody. Whoever you guys are watching, anybody's watching, tell me one great fighter that's lost as many rounds, less rounds than Khabib. Tell me. And then we can talk. And been clean.
Well, let me take it one step further. Khabib never went outside of his weight class to fight. Could you see Islam going up in weight and fighting in another weight class, becoming a two-division champion?
I could see it if he wants to, yeah, but I don't know if that's what he wants. He might just want to stay where he's at and focus there, get the title, defend it, while he's young. The thing about Khabib's crew and all what they're working on is when they're getting into that 35, 36 age range, Khabib is more on the maybe brother, go do business, be coach, maybe you don't fight no more. Because he believes in the aging factor of slowing down, and he doesn't want his guys to get hurt. He wants them to compete at the highest level without, diminishing any of their skills.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, though, but how is the weight cut? And as he gets older, too, he defends the belt. He accomplishes what he wants in that division. don't you see it as an opportunity to, really cement that legacy and have 2 belts, 2 different divisions?
Yeah, it can be. It can be, definitely. I mean, and definitely if he goes and does that, it definitely can enhance his situation. But then again, let's go one step further. He can also go after the middleweight title too, and he's capable of beating the middleweights. Listen, when I was in Russia, okay, and Islam was sparring, he was sparring with a world champion wrestler that was about 220 pounds, okay? And the guy is really good, world champion. Islam was having no problem with him. No problem with him. 220 pounds, maybe heavier. No problem with him. So can he handle big guys? Absolutely. Is it smart to spar big guys? Absolutely not. It's not, because their weight factor has a potential bad effect on somebody with a smaller body. I'll give you a perfect example. If you guys remember that Game of Thrones, that big monster guy?
Yeah.
What's his name? I forgot his name. But you know what I'm talking about, from Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
And he's out there punching people, and he went in with Dustin Poirier. He went and did some grappling. And he did with the other jiu-jitsu guy from Connor's team.
I saw the Dylan Dennis guy.
No, not Dylan Dennis. The other guy. He's really good.
Artem Lobov?
No. The other guy.
From Connor's team?
Yeah. He's from Norwegian or something, Norwegian. He grappled with him too, and he hurt his rib because the guy went on top of him. He hurt his rib really bad. He's just coming back to the UFC. He's really good.
Gunnar Nelson.
Ah, yes, Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah, Gunnar Nelson. So what I'm trying to say is...
fighting on the London card, I think.
Yeah. When you have somebody that's that big, even though you can handle it, your body might not be able to handle that weight and that power. And that's what happened to Gunnar. And he said that. He goes, that was a bad mistake. And I agree. And that's what I'm saying about Islam. He can handle the heavyweight guys because he proved it to me against the best in the world. But is it a smart thing? No, it's not.
If Islam became the first man in UFC history to have belts in 3 different weight divisions, I think that puts him in the conversation of greatest of all time. I know we're just throwing all these hypotheticals
We're
out,
doing
that might change your mind.
That would change my mind,
okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Hey, look, listen. If Henry Cejudo goes up and he gets that 145 strap, that might change my mind also because of his great accomplishments. And don't be shocked with that guy, though. Don't be shocked with him. I won't put nothing past him. That guy is mentally strong, and I believe, and also, too, let me tell you something. In my opinion, Khabib could have definitely 100%, 155, 170, 185. And maybe go even up to the light heavyweight and do really well there. Don't you guys remember, great fighters can do great things. B.J. Penn did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, B.J. Penn did it, and he wasn't a big guy at all. Khabib is much bigger, and much more capable of what the B.J. was able to do because he had more mass. He had more mass. B.J. didn't. He was a small guy. Still is a small guy.
Was that ever discussed between you guys, though? When Khabib was still fighting that, for him to move up to 170?
No, it was never discussed. I was there when him and his father discussed it, and it was going to be 155, and that was it. And the last fight they won, it was GSP versus Khabib. That's the fight father wanted. So when that fight was potentially put on the table just recently, I thought that is a possibility that it could happen because that's what father wanted. But unfortunately, things didn't work out the way they needed to work out. But that's the only fight that I think could have happened.
And it would have been 170, not like a catch weight. I guess you can't call it catch weight anymore because Khabib made the division, the 165 weight division.
Yeah, but I just heard that Eagle FC and Khabib, they're maybe asking George and Khabib to do a grappling.
That's what I heard too. I actually was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah, I just heard that from the Submission Radio guys told me. I go, what? I go, would you like? Yeah, I would like to see that because not that grappling is the greatest thing to do, but since we're not going to see these two guys go at it in the fight world, it would be kind of cool to watch them in the grappling world.
That would be cool.
I'm going to talk to Khabib about it. I don't know if that's true, but the submission guys did tell me about that.
What's so crazy about GSP, though, is he doesn't even have a wrestling background. He taught himself as he was progressing in his career, but obviously that became such an important staple. I mean, he was such a well-rounded fighter, but if they were doing just a pure grappling match, Khabib is definitely the man with the advantages.
I agree. And you know what? His size, Khabib's size, Khabib's about 195, 200
I was going to
pounds.
say he's looking like he's at least 200 right now.
He's solid. He's solid. I grabbed him and went, oh, crap. He's pretty solid. He's pretty solid, bro. And guess what he still does? Dominates everybody in the ground. Just kills everybody. I'm not joking. Nobody I've seen him has killed him. He kills everybody. Everybody he grapples, he's always on top of him. When he gets on top of you, you guys ain't hardly anybody's getting away from him. He's so damn good.
Speaking of damn good, I think this is a good time to let everybody know that today's podcast is brought to you by Blue Mon, some of the best hair products in the world. Coach Hav, I know you're a stylish guy. I got some hair product for you right over here. This is some Blue Mon right here. This is their original styling stuff right here.
Oh, wow.
We have a different discovery kit where you can find out based off of your hairstyles.
Wow.
Check them out. Use the promo code Schmo. Get 10% off. I love it. I use the Fifthh sample. Stronghold, their cloud control. All the right stuff. And it doesn't smell bad when it stays in here, too. So check them out. BlueMon.com. Love that.
Thanks. And little tiny ones, too.
Of course.
Oh,
those are so you could get a sample. So you could find out if you have thick hair, if you have thinning hair, if you have receding hair. You can find out what works for you.
If you look like a little dog, a rhino, a gorilla,
all for you.
Lion. I think I'll take the lion. I don't like the zebra, the gorilla. Yeah.
I'll find the one that fits for you.
I'm the lion, bro. I'm sorry. I'm the lion.
We'll find the one that fits you.
I'm the lion, Helen. Sorry, I'm the lion.
And today's podcast is also brought to you by Sheath Underwear, the most comfortable underwear in the world. Dual pouch protection separates the balls from the shaft. The guy who created it, Iraq War veteran, so he was overseas, Robert Patton, and the balls were sticking to the shaft. He found a solution. We got a really cool colors for you, Hav. I think you're maybe
triple
just
X.
Triple X. We got you lined up for you.
Not double X, triple X.
Triple X. I think double X will fit you.
No,
we'll get you a triple X if need to.
Might be too tight.
Check them out. Use the promo code Schmo. Get 20% off sheathunderwear.com. And see, I told you we had gifts for you.
I think, yeah. Thank you. Who's this guy?
Sheath Underwear.
These guys. Underwear.
I think you could use
Triple X, coach, not X.
I thought you could use an extra pair of underwear from all the training and all the sitting you're doing at the the.
And I don't have to wear underwear. Repeat. I don't repeat underwear, so.
Oh, you never do?
Never repeat. No, the one time only, and then never repeat. Never repeat.
How many pairs of underwear do you go through? 365 pairs a year?
No, I'm talking about after wash, you repeat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about repeat, meaning.
Oh, you never wear
2 days.
Oh, never.
No.
Not the same day. No, that would suck.
Cannot work. That would really suck.
That would be terrible.
They're not meant for repeats.
Not meant for. I don't wear the same pair of underwear 2 days in a row unless I'm caught on like an overnight flight and it kind of bleeds into the next day.
Just go in the bathroom and take them off.
You know, the airport bathrooms are absolutely disgusting.
They are, though. Yeah.
They're disgusting.
Yeah, but still, take them off. Real quick, take them off.
Take them off. Just take them off.
Well, yesterday, when we were flying back from Miami, you had to use the restroom. You go in and, run out because it was so gross.
Yeah. It's some of these bathrooms, I'm telling you, they're just, you can't go in them.
Oh, even the women's restrooms? I feel like they're probably more disgusting.
No way. No, women, nope. Women, no. Men are disgusting. Women are not. No, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Women, no way.
Here's the thing
Have you ever walked in a woman's bathroom by accident?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been in women's by accident.
By accident.
No way are women like men. No way. You could never get me to believe that. The Schmo, you're lying. No, Helen, you're correct. Wait a minute. Are you saying the women are nice? Is she saying the women are not?
Is she saying they're not nice?
Oh,
I haven't even given my opinion.
Here's what happened. The other day, we were editing our interviews and stuff at a college campus because there's, coffee
better
shop.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, better
Little
Wi-Fi.
secret trip.
I go in the restroom, and then I'm washing my hands 3 times, right? So then this lady comes out, and it starts smelling really bad. And I'm like, okay, someone, took a poop. She comes out and literally just walks past me out the door. Doesn't wash her hands. And I tell David right away, I'm like, that's so disgusting. And there was no line or anything. Just me and her stunk it up. Walks out.
College campus.
Okay. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. This is yesterday, okay? I won't name the casino, but I'm gambling. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. To pee, blah, blah, blah. So I go, open up the first, I look, pee all over the seat cover. I go to the next one, pee all over the seat cover. I go to the next one. No, I don't know what was on that one, but something was on that one. Okay, I said, damn it. The last one, the handicap one, was good. Can you beat that? Yes or no, Helen?
Well, I have a funny story of when I was in the 6th grade. I'm just going to bring this up because we're talking about poop and bathroom stories.
Yes.
So I'll never forget this. I'm scarred for life. But we all of us, when I was in the 6th grade, our vice principal went on the loudspeaker and called every single 6th grade boy down to the cafeteria for an emergency press conference or an emergency meeting. Not a press conference, a meeting. I'm so used to our work. Emergency meeting. Mr. Shago, shoulder rub Shago. Ladies and boys, I'll never forget this. And they even brought us to the bathroom to see this. In my 30 years of teaching, of looking over students, I've never seen anything as vile, disgusting, and grotesque. In all my years, there's feces on the wall. There are feces on the wall. And he single-handedly walked us all over to watch. Someone wrote the F word. Spelled it all out with their poop on the wall. It was just absolutely disgusting. And I was scarred for life. Some kid, I guess, did that. Or who knows who did that. But every 6th grade boy had to go down there and look at the F word written in poop on the wall.
Could have been a teacher.
Could have been a teacher. Call.
Or could have been him. He couldn't get attention.
You're
power
right.
tripping. He might have been power tripping.
He could have been power tripping.
Power tripping.
Power tripping.
So poo-poo tripping, in other words, right?
Yeah, so that was disgusting. And yeah, that was a boy's bathroom. A boy's bathroom.
Give us an example of a woman's, like you just said, because right now what you're saying is roses.
Speaking of roses, have you ever seen a bloody toilet? Unflushed?
Yes. I've seen worse. Yes.
What?
What level are you trying to take this?
Yeah. I mean, isn't the bloody toilet common as long as it's not on the seat?
Listen, I saw enough blood this weekend at this BKFC Knucklemania. We saw enough blood. You want to talk about a brutal fucking sport? That bare knuckle stuff, man.
I look.
That's brutal.
I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say.
The cuts are prominent.
It's
all action, very entertaining. But sometimes, it makes you like,
Yeah.
But we love guys like Mike Perry, Chad Mendez, guys that were crowd favorites, fan favorites in the UFC, outstanding fighters, but paid substantially a lot of money to get in there and to do this bare knuckle stuff.
How was the crowd? I'd never seen these events. Not one.
Well, that was our first time going to it, so we didn't even know what to expect.
It kind of was probably like very similar to the original UFC days. Kind of a rowdy crowd, all into the fighting, all into the action. I think it was the largest gate though at that Hollywood Guitar Theater right over there at the Rock Rock and Roll Hard Rock Hotel.
So was it a sold out event?
I think it was a sold out event.
Oh wow.
How many people can fit in that theater?
Well, it was like a theater setup.
At least 6,000 to 10,000, somewhere in there. Maybe.
Nice.
Maybe.
Nice.
Am I?
So did they make money?
They made money.
So okay.
They definitely made money.
What about on pay-per-view? I don't know what they bought them. Nothing.
It's $4.99 subscription, and they put on at least one event every month, maybe two, and $4.99, and you get access to everything.
Nice.
So it looks
there's
cool.
entertainment for everybody.
Will we see Cain Velasquez back in pro wrestling?
Cain Velasquez, yes, 100%. Yeah, you'll see him in pro wrestling. He's already doing that Lucha Libre. He's got a deal with them, and I think at one point you'll probably see him back in the WWE. Just that the COVID situation caused this. He was one of the higher guys that they was on the totem pole, but he wasn't as experienced, So who knows what was the reason, but he was let go for that particular reason.
Are we ever going to see your friend Hasbulla fight?
I would say no. I would think Hasbulla entertainment. Yeah, everybody loves to see Hasbulla entertainment, but on a real fight, come on, who really wants to see these guys fight? I don't. I mean, they're comical, they're entertainment, but I don't know. I don't advocate Hasbulla actually really fighting. I advocate the little messes he caused, the little that, and it's real though. It's real. Him and the other guy, the little guy, they don't like each other, so that thing's real. I thought it was phony. I thought it was all made up, but no, it's real. But to actually do a promotion and put those two guys to fight, it's kind of like, I don't know. I just think it's this freak show.
More circus stuff.
I don't think that's cool.
How's the relationship between him and Khabib? Because it seems like they have some sort of business relationship or friendship relationship.
I don't know. I think it's okay. Hasbulla is, friends. Abu Bakr Manap, which is Khabib's cousin, is good friends with Hasbulla's good friend, who lives right next door to him or something like that. So that's where the connection comes with Hasbulla coming around. I mean, people love that kid, and young man, I should call him because he's like 20 years old, right? But they love him. They love him. He's just the look. I mean, when I was in Dagestan, my friends would text me, "Oh, coach, we love you, but when you come back, can you please put Hasbulla in your suitcase? I'm sorry, but he's more famous than you. We love him." And I'm like, okay. I don't know him like that.
I was going to ask you earlier, when you were talking about Hasbulla and their beef and stuff, someone else that has beef next weekend, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, wanted to kind of get your take on that whole situation.
Guys that train together were best friends at one point now.
That's a tough situation, and it kind of separates teams when that happens. I've been fortunate, 20-something years, we've had a strong team. That hasn't happened to us yet. I've only had like Josh Koscheck attack me, and more or less, I have to take the fault on that one, right? It's kind of my fault because I'm the head coach, and I saw it happening, and I didn't do anything to stop it. I let it escalate. So I don't like seeing that because teams implode when you do that, like the Greg Jackson, John Jones scenario. And, there's a lot of things happening in my gym that's still kept behind closed doors. Nobody still knows about it. Like if I told you guys some of the things, you go, what? So what? Who's this? What? And because you'd be like, I didn't hear about it. That's because we try to keep it, together. We do a lot of things that are team unity. When you have a rogue fighter, which in this case was Colby, the best case might have been to bring him on board first. And if you couldn't come to a good resolution, then maybe ask him it's best. Maybe he might go somewhere else, And I don't know what happened in that case because I wasn't there, but it definitely causes good drama. Colby's a great talker, Whether he's a real heel, I don't know. I never met the guy. He might be real. He might not be real. Like, okay, Chael Sonnen, we know he was phony. Okay, his act was all phony. He was the gangster from whatever town he was with,
Westland,
Oregon or something, which is a real affluent, high, rich area, right? So we know he's a great marketer. Chael was great. So you didn't like Chael, but you loved Chael because he was great entertainment, wrestling type entertainment. Colby, he's kind of like, I hate that guy. He's an ass kind of guy. Or you got to be able to see what he's doing to really appreciate him. But one thing you can't not appreciate is his fighting. He could fight. And whether he's delusional or not, and whether he won the last fight, any rounds of this or that, that's besides the point. He can really fight. So he's definitely one of the best in the world, if not the second best. In his opinion, he's number one, but I could very well be he's actually number two.
Yeah, Dana always said that if Kamaru Usman was not alive, he would be the champion.
I would agree 100%. From what I've seen, I would agree. He's fun to watch.
Well, what do you think are the repercussions for the loser of this fight? Like, if Masvidal loses, if Colby loses, the loser of this fight, outside of the humiliation from the trash talking and all that kind of stuff, if that even exists, like, where do they go in their career if they lose this fight? Because both these guys need this in order to get another crack at the champion down the line.
I think if Jorge loses it, I think he can wrap it. He's just going to fight specialty fights because he's such a huge name and fan favorite. Then he can go out and fight, but I think he's older, much older. What is he, 36, 37?
He's in his mid-30s.
Yeah, so he's not He's the one that can't afford to lose. Colby loses. He's still young enough to rebound 3-4 more wins, and he could be back in the title contention. So one is bad for the other is not as bad.
Well, something that David and I have talked about before in regards to this fight is the fact that, so Colby used to train at American Top Team, and Jorge obviously still works with some of the coaches that used to work with Colby. So who do you think has that advantage? Or, like, does that give Jorge any additional advantage having, working with coaches that are maybe familiar with Colby?
I would say this. I think when you do have coaches that are familiar with somebody, I think there is an advantage, but that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win for you. Perfect example, De La Hoya and Mayweather. Mayweather's father worked with De La Hoya. Therefore, it caused Mayweather to have one of his toughest fights. It was really close. Why? Because he had the father on the other side. So having coaches, if they know you really, really well, yes, it can make a difference. But if that athlete's that much better, you just made it a closer fight, but then I'm still beating you, right? So, it's like David and I are fighting. He's going to whoop me, easy. But I get somebody that's been training both of us and knows him inside and out. Now he's in my corner. Maybe I come closer to beating him, but I'm still not going to beat him.
So you think Colby beats Jorge?
I definitely favor Colby. I'm not saying he will beat him because I don't know. You can't never count George out. Never count him out. He's a real fighter. Never count him out. But I say the advantage is on the wrestling because Colby's going to go to his wrestling, bro. Bro.
All good.
Schmo, bro.
Schmo,
bro. Sorry.
Pro.
No, it's all
Hey.
good.
Give me a break.
We're all bros.
But they all
Busting balls.
he's busting balls.
Because of the
But not
toilet
just the
combo.
coaching aspect. These guys lived with each other. They were training partners for so many years. Yes, I know Masvidal was fighting at the 155-pound weight division, but it doesn't matter because they're still not fighting at 155 and training at 155.
It kind of sucks that they were that close to each other. And
Yeah.
Look, one of the things we had that didn't really fit that kind of that demographic because John Fitch and BJ Penn, fighting each other at that time that BJ was with us. I'm not sure if I remember if John Fitch was training with us at that time. So when they fought each other, it wasn't as big a deal. It was not as big a deal. So that wasn't so bad. But a situation like that, it can get kind of hairy. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Anything else that you'd like to say? We appreciate you coming on the Schmozone.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cain Velasquez and I are debating and working on. We're gonna do a podcast, but we don't know what to name it yet. We're thinking the Hobb and Cain show, the Cain and Coach Hobb show. I don't know. For those of you guys that are tuning in, tell the Schmo what you think Cain and my podcast, and our podcast, sorry, because it's our podcast, what it should be named. And shortly we'll be out there. But I want to also do it with the Spanish Latino flair, since him and I are both Latino and we both accomplished, great things in the Latin community. It would be nice to give back, and that's what Cain and I are thinking about doing. Let me know about that too, guys, if you guys like that. So the name, and if you think the Latin flavor would be good, and having Cain and I.
That sounds like a fantastic duo. And
Yeah.
I could see you guys put it on like a luchador, mask and everything like that. Are you gonna run that out of the gym, out of the AKA gym, and even have guests on, guest fighters on? How are you gonna run the show?
We didn't plan it that far ahead yet.
Well, we'll talk. You got my brain spinning. I got some good ideas for you.
We just right now we're in the talking stage, and we're definitely gonna do it. He's down for it, and I'm looking forward to because Cain is a brainiac. He is so good, and he's so funny that people don't know how funny this guy is, and he is very, very, very funny. So let's see what happens. The Cain and Hobbs show.
The Cain and Hobbs show.
Yeah.
What do you think?
love that.
The Cain and Hobbs show, is that good?
I
I have a clothing line. Hobb, J-A-V. I'll give you some.
I love it. Where do we get the Hobbs?
They're not
clothes?
done yet.
They're not done yet.
No, they're coming. The Hobb clothing line's
What
coming.
website? How are people?
No
people
website
purchase
just
it?
yet. It's coming though. It's coming soon.
It's coming
Real
soon.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's
on
just
your
Hobb.
Instagram.
I don't know if I'm going to put him on Instagram. Yes, I will eventually.
Like you'll let fans know.
I'll let fans know
on
where to
Instagram.
come. Yeah, on Instagram.
Where's the post-fight celebration Saturday evening?
They never celebrate.
Why not?
I know how you're gonna celebrate Texas Hold'em, right?
Yeah.
I know now.
So what do you guys do
With
after
my
the
5
victory?
wives and 6 girlfriends.
If
Only?
only. So he gets his hand raised. Let's just assume if he gets his hand raised, or when, or however you guys like to say it. What do? You just go back? Do you eat pizza?
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Margarita pizza. Habib likes margarita pizza. Coca-Cola and burgers. Yeah.
And then what?
That's it. They
That's
have a
it?
good time. It's the guy show. You got to understand, these guys are Muslim through and through, 100%. They are the most loyal, most loving, most respectful fighters I've ever met in my whole entire life. They're my family. These guys, think about this. They've been with me, Habib's been with me for 10 years. Not one time has he ever really disrespected me. None of those guys have ever disrespected me. Their culture, the way they are as a person and how they treat their elders, second to none. Second to none. It's just it's the greatest feeling that to have these guys treat you with that much respect. You know, if we're going like Habib's a superstar, we all know that, big time superstar, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's gonna happen. We're being carted out. There's a giant limousine out front. The front seat is for the premier person. Habib's and I we be going. Who do you think is going to go in the front seat every single time? Every single time, without no question.
Well, I know it's not Habib.
It's not Habib. It's me. It's me because I'm the elder. Now, when it was his father and I, we already knew who was going to be in the front seat. Father. I'm in the back. That's the way it is. It's the respect. It's the elder type scenario, and that's the way it is. Like Habib, and one of the times, you know, I go to his room, and he's got this beautiful room, and I see a cot on the side, you know, little rollaway, and I'm going, Habib, where are you sleeping? Right here, coach. And I go, but they gave me this giant suite. He goes, yeah, Shamil, my big brother, he's in that one. And there I look, and there's Shamil. Wow. Nice, beautiful suite. Shamil, Habib's in the rollaway. Why? Because that's his elder. Nobody I know does that. Nobody. But they do. Because they are who they are, 100% devoted to their religion, 100% devoted to their elders, and respect. Respect is given and earned with these guys. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
And that's why it translates to him as a champion and everything he does in life.
Yeah, his father trained him from when he was young, and the way I look at it is I got Habib 95% what Habib was. I added the 5% that put the little finishing touches.
The polish.
Yeah, I polished him, but he was already there. He didn't need me to train him from ground up. I didn't teach him any grappling. I didn't teach him any jiu-jitsu. I taught him how to do this along with his father, because his father had a big part to do with that, because we'd always say the same thing. I say, Habib, because he goes, yes, coach, I know. My father says the same thing. I went, oh, okay. That's why, you guys wanted me to tell you one story? I want to tell you one little funny story. When Habib first came to me, he was destroying everybody. People ask me, hey, you know, what do you think of this guy? I go, man, he'd do great if he just listened. He just doesn't listen. He goes, what do you mean he doesn't listen? Because I say, relax. He goes harder. And yeah, he's dominating the guys, but Jesus, you know, he needs to relax. He needs to slow down. I meet his father, and his father says, relax. And he starts laughing. Relax. And I'm going, relax. All of a sudden, Habib tells me, Coach, you remember the time you used to tell me to you know, because now he can speak English, right? He wasn't able to speak. He goes, remember the time you would always tell me to relax? He goes, yeah. He goes, I thought you always meant go harder. So that's why he would go harder. I went, oh, darn it. That's why, you know, so it's like he would go harder. I say, relax. He's going crazy. And I'm going, relax. He goes harder. And I'm like, relax to him meant harder. So he was listening. So that changed my attitude of what I thought he could be. I went, oh, wow, this guy is, because he's unbelievable on the ground. He came in that way. What I gave him is the finishing touches, sharpening up his stand-up, because he didn't train with anybody but me. When he'd go back home, I tried to get him to train with other people, and he wouldn't do it. He was just too loyal to me on the stand-up, you know. And while Islam Makhachev was smart. He would train with other coaches, so that's why his striking was more advanced than Khabib's. Khabib's striking was less advanced, not because Khabib is less talented. He's immensely talented. It's just, if you got a year of training and Islam's taking full advantage of a whole year of training, and Khabib's only taking advantage of maybe 3-4 months of training on the stand-up, who's going to have better stand-up?
Yeah.
Common sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Khabib. Most of his time was, almost 95% of his stand-up was with me. So how is his stand-up going to improve if he only sees me, 3-4 months out of the year?
Well, did you ever come up with a new word instead of relax?
No, he knows relax. Now,
Okay.
So he knows relax.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Here it is. Well, we appreciate you coming on this week, Fight Week, Mr. Javier Mendez.
Yeah,
Coach Hoff,
Thanks, guys.
the Schmozone,
Schmozone.
episode 95. We are.
95 we are. 7 wives with this.
I thought it was 6.
It's 7 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 10 girlfriends, by the way, over there, buddy.
Royalty.
Yeah.
10.
Royalty.
Living it up.
Living it up. Yes, 10 girlfriends.
We are out.